Hi guys, welcome back to Simpsons Classics. I'm Matt and you join me today at my house on my drive with this fabulous thing behind me. Here we go again. So what do we have here? It is the 1982 Volvo 244, which Mark and Jackman kindly got for me. Obviously I'm going to pay him back in some way or another, but yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it? She needs a bit of work, and that's what I'm going to go through with you right now. So the central locking actually works, and we found that out earlier. On the inside we have 99,000 miles. It's 99,000 miles in 43 years, you know. Not bad at all. Needs a little bit of the clean, but it's not too bad. Missing a knob. So on the list we have, obviously, welding. It wouldn't be Simpsons Classics without some welding, would it? So we've got, for some reason, a random missing bit of sill. It's a bit unusual, but I can just patch that up, that's no biggie. But the main things are little bits of the wheel arch, same on the other side, and then it's the back end, really. You know, it's there, and bit of patina on the boot lid, and the same again. You know, but the panels that we can get easily, and I'm sure we can do that. That's not a problem. For some reason, it's got these weird white patches on the door. The one on the driver's side's a bit further back, but I can only think that it might have been rubbing on something in the previous owner's garage. And we managed to polish a little bit up to see what it might look like. So yeah, that's a welding. Wiper motor for some reason is not working. So let's pop her open. For some reason the wiper motor's just stuck, won't do anything. Some random lights, the rear lights, got a problem with them. Exhaust part of it's missing. Clutch, which I'll run through, mainly hydraulics, needs a service. Obviously it's not been done for a very long time. Water leak, fresh water leak on the inside for some reason. I think it's probably the windscreen seal. That's probably going to want doing. That's not too bad, I suppose. Bodywork, obviously it's faded, we'll have to do something about that. Engine mounts, pretty much anything rubber on this in its time it's gonna need changing. It's rubber, it's gonna perish. Steering gaiters, shock absorbers, the heater's not great in it when we run it up, and there's a few random warning lights on the dash as well. I mean, you know, it's not too bad at all, and I've got a feeling the water leak's coming from, it's going down there into the footwell, so I'll clean that out, do a water leak test. I mean, things like that random patch there, I can clean that up and just go, fixed, that'll do. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work on this. Ignore what's under here, that's for a future video. But I've already started getting some parts. So bits from Brookhouse, thank you very much. We've got engine mounts, gaiters, clutch hose, sleeve cylinder repair kit, some exhaust mounts, and this sort of thing for the headlight washer, little T-piece thing. I've got a pair of shock absorbers as well. Bit of history with the car. This is what came with it. Original service book, things like that, and the original bill of sale from Drayton Motors in the northwest near Liverpool and the Wirral. I don't think this car's been out of the northwest in its entire life. It's actually called the come back to me. It's actually called the Dinted Volvo. It might just get called that from now on. So yeah, we'll start getting these bits and bobs on, get some welding done, and get this thing back on the road. So where am I going to start? Well, inside seems like a good idea. I've got a little heater down there and a dehumidifier trying to dry her out. I think I'm gonna go in on the internet and just go and search for a knob. Wish me luck. A short time later and I find some knobs. That one actually fits. Something like fixed. So then, what have I done to this car already? First thing we did was brakes, and this is a prime example as to why. This is one of the handbrake shoes, and that is delaminated. Yeah, you can't run like that. So that's one of the first things I did, was all of the brake calipers. They've all been replaced for shiny new ones. There we go. And the rest of the brakes are actually fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit in the car because it's absolutely freezing today, and we're just going to quickly run through a few things that I've done. So a few things that we've done is yeah, brakes for a start. We've done getting it running, just up and running. It's not tuned, obviously. It needs a tune badly. There's no power at all. Just done a bit of a rundown as to actually what it needs, and that's what I'm going to go through now. So obviously welding wouldn't be a Simpsons Classic without some welding. The wiper motor doesn't work. I've literally just unblocked the wipers, the washers. Yeah, priorities. We've got to get the wiper motor working. Lights, the brake lights don't work. I'm getting a low voltage, so I'll probably do a bit of a wiring thing with that. Indicators on the front don't work. Again, same thing, I'll run through that one. Exhaust, I think I may be missing a few pieces, so just a rear section, I think. Clutch, the clutch rubber line is closed up. It's like an artery. When brake lines get old and stuff like that, they close up and you cannot get fluid through them. So we did a bit of a not say a bodge, but we just got it working just to get it on a trail and get it to my place. We're going to do a master cylinder overhaul. And hopefully just get all that clutch and transmission service working. Baltic I mentioned, I think it's a windscreen. We'll look into that. Bodywork's an obvious one. Engine mounts, yeah, rubber again, it's just perished over time. Steering rack gaiters, shock absorbers, things like that. Some random warning lights on the dash and things. So we're going to run through everything. First of all though, I'm going to see if I can get the wipers working. So then, wiper motor. As you can see, I've got a test light and a wiper switched on and ignition is on. So we'll just check for a feed in different plugs. So we've got a test light there hooked up to earth, and the wiper motor is off because this is what I have found when I have taken the covers off, and it looks a little bit dirty in there. So I'm going to strip it down, clean all the contacts, clean the brushes. Actually inside the motor itself doesn't look too bad. I'll stick a bit more grease in there, and fingers crossed we might get it to live again. Right, let's go see if it works. Right then, wiper motor's back on. I've also cleaned up the earth on it as well. Ignition on. Ooh, I can hear noise. It's alive! Right, let's build the rest of it back up. See if we've got some wipers. Well, I've just found out why I'm not getting any, or very little heat coming through. That's the air mix valve, and it's not doing much. That one right there though is what controls your heat, and that does seem to be working, thankfully, and it's also not leaking. What a nightmare that was. Finally working. So what happened was, that arm came off its spindly thing there on the cable, and what a nightmare that was to get back on there. Take the glove box out, got way more access. You got way more access to that heater valve if it goes wrong, and anything else that's in there, but flipping it, that was a nightmare. Right, next job. I'm happy with the wipers and the washers, they work. I've even had a quick look at the brake lights, and that was just a dicky connector on the brake switch. So yeah, they now work. I'm going to tackle the clutch master cylinder next, and it's a bit of a bugger. So I've sucked the fluid out of it already, but there's a nut behind there and there's a nut underneath as well. And if it was another person here to help me, it'd be easier, but the other two, you know, the bolt's going that way through. So yeah, after that, once I get that off, I've got to try and get the slave cylinder. You just see the pipe up, the spanner on the slave cylinder there. I've got to change that flexi hose because that's all just knackered, and you can't get any fluid through it, so made it really difficult to get in gear. One step at a time. It's slowly coming back to life. And there we go, it's off, just like that. 2 bolts, 1 pipe. Now if you start seeing black horrible muck inside your master cylinders, either it's brake or clutch, it's usually a sign that rubbers are starting to break up inside. So it's a good time to really not only replace your fluid, but start replacing pipes and seals and things like that. So it's a really good sign that if you start seeing black goo inside there. So I think what I might try and do is stick it on a time lapse, get this thing stripped down, and see if I can repair it. Right, so yeah, there you go. That wasn't too bad really, as long as you remember which way the seal's gone. Yeah. Old bellows, little washer that comes with it. There's the old seal. It's a bit knackered. I suspect most of the black stuff that was coming through was from the flexi, which we'll do next. So seal clip is seated in there. Let's get the bellows on. Let's get it fitted to the car. I'll change the flexi and we'll bleed it all. Right, so the old hose is off. old Dunlop one, and you're not getting hardly any fluid coming through there, so definitely have to replace it. New copper washer. We'll stick it on, let's see how we go. Okay, so the flexi line has been fitted. Hopefully you can just about see it there on the copper line, and then it goes to just there. So we'll open that bleed nipple, put some fluid in, and I'm going to use this thing. It's an air bleeder, vacuum bleeder. So I connect the end up to the nipple, connect the end up to the airline, press the trigger, and it sucks it through. And hopefully we'll have a pedal, and then and there goes the compressor. Awesome. So what have I done today? We've done sorted brake lights, just a connection, sorted the wiper motor out, stripped and rebuilt that wiper arm as well, which is an absolute nightmare, which fell off and all the wire got tangled. Anyway, sorted that out. Clutch, master cylinder rebuilt, system bled. Not been a bad day. So next we're going to tackle rear shockers, 3 engine mounts, a bit of exhaust work, and hopefully a couple of steering rack gaiters. I'm going to get a shower, have a drink, and call it a night. Okay, so cars up and axle stands. What I like to do is get a couple of wheels under there, just for a little bit of safety. So we've got a jack just under the gearbox there. Now why have we got a jack under there? Well, you're going to need to lift it up to take the pressure off the gearbox mount, which you can just about see in the shadows. That gearbox mount looks a little bit different to the one I've got, but let's just see if it fits. I'll try and keep you on while I do it. Apologise if you can't see much, guys, but there's not a lot of room under here, even though it is a big ass Volvo. We've got a 17mm on each side. I'm trying to take this mount off and replace it with something that looks like this. Now, this one's like a big donut, but this one's square, so we'll see. Oh, she's tight. Oh, it's very tight. Oh, too tight. Try this one. Oh, really tight. Not surprising. It's been on there 40 odd years. Oh, right. Hammer time. We've let's see if we can get this on. Going. It's 17, isn't it? Yeah, that's done it. Get it out again. That's how you get things stuck. easy. Come on now, off you come. Go, one nuts, one washer. Yeah. Right, the other side off. This was a bit tricky because it's right up against the gearbox. I can only get a spanner on it. Not a lot of room. Not a lot of swinging room. Shut it. Cannot get a good angle here at all. Go. Tap it up. Can't get my ratchet spanner in there, so I have to do it manually. Now the easy bit is getting it off, the hard bit is getting the new one in. He says. Not sure if I'm blinding you lot there. See if we can change the lights in a little bit. There we go. Some asshole. Right, how are we going to get you out of there now? You seem rather tight in there. Now I'm really hoping I don't have to drop this cross member. I've got a sneaky suspicion that I might. Okay, let's just jack him up a bit more, let's see what happens. How's that to help me? Do I need to undo the bracket from the back of the gearbox? Quite possibly. Obviously I've never done one of these before, so that's not moving from there, that's not going to move from there, is it? Right, so what's on the back of the gearbox? Oh, something's just gone down my ear. Lovely. New bits over here. working on the cars on a cold winter's day. Right, so we've got a couple of bolts, so we'll do that one. What size are they? Probably not the size that I've got. Of course they're not. What size are they? They are 14s. Right. I'll get blinding you. Back in a second. Get a 14. 2 bolts on the back of the gearbox there. Let's get them off. Head on. Can't see a thing. That sounds tight. That sounds rather tight. That must be socket. Let's try the other one. It's not helping matters. Ooh, that is tight. Oh, was not expecting that. It's not going all the way through. Oh, it never ends. Right, I have to get me break out the big guns. A bit of a squirt. I'm just going to give it another go. See if it's made any difference. There we go. They were so tight. Bolts. Come on, 2 bolts. One down there. Now, let's try and figure out how to get this off now. Oh, blinding myself again. It's not easy filming under cars. I've got no idea what you're looking at there. Absolutely no idea. But anyway, or else you're going to be in my way. I've got a feeling I'm going to have to drop a cross member. That sucks. I don't think I can really jack it up much more. There we go. Let's just see what you're looking at. You probably can't see a goddamn thing. Right. Let's see if I can. As far as it's going. Ooh, it's so close. So, odd one. It's actually, actually not that bad, but we're changing it anyway for that one. Okay. See how we do. Because this is well, it's got 4 speed on the gear knob. And whether someone's changed it for a 5 speed, I don't know. I've not tried. But this is the one I've been given. So yeah, I've got to figure out which way this goes now. There's never enough room. Doesn't seem right, that. I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so the plot thickens. Just been on the phone to our friends at Brookhouse, and it appears I actually do have the right one. That's the part number for it. Because my car is a 4-speed with no overdrive. It's definitely a 4-speed, it's not a 5-speed. I've just been out and checked and wiggled it around. This is the right one. This one is for a 4-speed with overdrive. Interesting. So I think someone has either swapped the gearbox or has been here before. So let's get this one fitted. I'll try and get you in there again, and then we shall start the engine mounts as well. Right, back under we go. Okay. So we go on. This is the fiddly bit. Get it all to go back in again. Got to go somewhere in. It goes somewhere like that, and then that goes in there like that. I don't know. Work out this jigsaw puzzle. It's gonna go in. Doesn't seem to want to. No, does it go? Does it go like that? No, it can't go like that because it's got like little teeth on it there. So I'm assuming, because there's no holes in the crossmember for it. Just sits in. It sits in like that. It's rather long. Right, I think I might put you on pause while I figure this out. Right, another day, we're back at it, and then get out that last bolt which is hiding behind the engine mount there. Let's get this mount done. And a short time later, the mount is out. So what did I have to do? I'm not saying you're going to have to do this, but in my particular case, I had to take the alternator off and the alternator bracket, which bolts to the block, oil filter, and then you can get 3 nuts under the crossmember, and then the 3 bolts holding it to the block. And the one I was struggling with was that one just there. It's so difficult to get to that bolt. So we can now change them out, put it all back together. I've left off. Oh, another good thing is if you got a spare, a wheel, it's good for standing on for short asses like me. So I've left the passenger side mount off, jack underneath it supporting the engine. And what I'm going to do as well, now everything's off, I'm going to degrease everything under here, give it all a good clean. While it's all off, stick the oil filter back on, obviously, so I'm not getting any water in there. Yeah, I'll get it cleaned off and carry on. Next up, that engine mount. It's hidden under the oil filter, right in the cross member, down there somewhere. Damn it. Stay. Okay. Now, I jack you up enough to get that out of there. Got to try and get that mount off as well. Passenger side mount, which is right down there. But in order to get that one off, I need to take my nuts off from underneath, I think. So again, I think I'll just pause you for a while. And there we go, some time later, everything's a lot cleaner. New mount is almost done. I'm using a ratchet strap to pull the engine that way, so I can actually line up the bolts a bit easier. And then once that's in, we'll get the other mount bolted up, and then it'll be that short job done. I'm doing, can you? I'm gonna get this on and come back. And there we go, all back together. Very good. I mean, the old mounts weren't too bad. I've seen worse. Right, on to the next job. Right then, on to the next job. So, before I do, I want to clarify something. A while back, I said that when we were trying to start the car, we were having trouble starting it, and I blew through the fuel line and said that there's no blockage in the line. Well, I was right, there's no blockage in the line because there was no line. I've replaced the entire fuel line, metal fuel line, front to rear. It actually, from about there back, was non-existent. So yeah, we're never going to draw fuel up through there. So that's been replaced, but it looks a little bit cleaner now, slightly. That thing I think is now leaking, so that might be the next thing on the list as well. I also, when I said I'm going to be repairing things, well, the reason I'm repairing things is because a lot of the time you can't get things anymore. They're just obsolete. So things like the wiper motor, you know, it's this little thing here, you can't get it anymore, or if you can, it's really expensive and it's probably going to want to rebuild anyway. So it makes sense to just tear it down, see if there's anything wrong, see if you can fix it, have a go, you know, just have a go at repairing it first before you go out just throwing money at things. I do know that these lamps, I think either the near side or the off side is obsolete now. I know the indicators don't work, and the wiring I think is shot, at least I know the earth is shot, probably on both sides. So that's on the list to do as well. There's lots on the list, this ever-growing list, but the next job is going to be steering rack end boots. So these things right here, that's next on my list. Wish me luck. I think I might have to get the heat out again. So, steering rack end boots. This thing is what I'm going to be replacing on both sides. So the way I do these, you might need a gentle bit of heat on here to get the long nut off. See if you can mark it just with a screwdriver or something like that, so you know where everything lines up. Give the threads a clean on the nut, because we're going to try and save the track rod end if we can. 22mm, 19mm, wire brush, bit of lube, maybe a bit of heat, and I'm going to need another spanner or locks, trying to locks or something, just to hold the rack end, yeah, to stop it from spinning. So the way I do these is get the nut off, put the nut back on a little bit of the way, and then give the end of the hub a strike with a really good hammer, and it should drop out. So I'll give that a go and we'll see what happens. So then, when that's off, count the turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a bit. Get them over there. Try and get the nut unseized because I've got to get the boot over that as well. So we'll wind the nuts off. There you go. Nuts off. A little bit of heat, and then, as if by magic, one boot coming off. Wonderful. Right, let's get it re-greased and the new one on there. There we go, new grease in after it's been cleaned up. Don't have to go mad, I just use the standard multi-purpose grease. It looks a lot more there than there is. It looks a lot more on camera than there actually is on there. So, new boot going on. I've just cleaned up the old clips rather than using the cable ties. Get the boots on and then do the other side. Next up is rear shock absorbers. I think you can tell why I'm going to be replacing these. They've been on a car for a very long time. So, I think it's a 19mm at the top, a 19mm at the bottom. Clean the threads up, get them off, get the new ones on. Same on the other side. Let's go. Okay, rusty nuts. Please come off. Come on, baby. There goes the torch. Okay, give me enough under there. Okay, one bolt gone. You can see what I'm doing, maybe. There we go. It's stuck. Is he free? One second. There we go. One down. Just got a jack under there to lift the arm up a bit to get the bolt out. Okay, let's get the new one in. Cobwebs out of the way. That's nice there. Give that a bit of a grease. Doesn't need this really, but I'll stick a little bit on, get rid of your arm. Same on the bottom bolt. Okay, new one's going. Pressure again. It's up here in there. Come on, get in the hole. There we go. Right, get the nuts back on and then do the other side. I'd say that looks quite a lot better, don't you? Once the nuts are on, do the other side. Job done. Warming the gloves up. So we've got a bit of a blow. And I believe this is why my indicators don't work. You can see the rust coming out of there, where that little rivet in there is what earths the indicator bulb. That, even though it looks blown, actually works amazingly. You can see just how corroded that little rivet is there, that earth point. But on the back, the wiring is just melted. It's all crumbly. It's been chafing. So I'm either going to have to try and source a better lamp or repair this one. Right, a little time later, and what I've done is got the little round bit out of there, what the bulb earths onto, removed the pin that goes to it, soldered it to there, which now whiffs off alright. It's all nice and clean. Done the same on the side right side, bit of heat shrink on there, replaced the crappy wiring, and now I'm about to put it into the main connector, hook it all up and see if it works. And yeah, that's like, this is what happens when water gets into wiring and it just gets all corroded and burnt out. It just travels, the water travels just along the cable as well, so yeah, not the best. Just took the driver's side off. Oh, it looks a bit manky in there. Right, let's get this side off. See if we do the same, taking the washer tank out. Let's get the connector off. You have to partially or fully remove the headlight to get the wiring out, but let's get it out and see if we can repair the wiring on this one as well. Yeah, this one's a lot worse than the near side one. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare to try and repair this. At least in there, the wiring doesn't look as bad, but we'll give it a go. Right, after a little bit of messing, I've actually managed to clean them up. Got the bulbs out without breaking them. Amazing. So, got a feeling again we're down to bad earths. Green crusties. Whoa. Green crusties on the earth wire, and a little bit of melty wiring again on that one as well. So yeah, green crusties in there. I'll replace that wire, goes the earth basically. Everything else looks okay. Clean it up, put it back together, and then I've got to try and sort out the headlights because yeah, both of them have dropped it. So yay, and one bolt, one nut, sorry, wherever it is, one of them, that one, it wouldn't come out, so it got poured out, so it's something else to repair. So what I'm doing to clean these pins up is just rubbing it down with a bit of emery. Seems to work. I can get a bit of WD-40 or something in these pins, just keep on working it on as soon as it cleans them up. Right. That's all I need to do. Just a little bit. Touch more. Come on. Out you come. There we go. So there's the pin that goes in the back, and a rotten ring, a prying tool, there we go. And there's your rotten ring that the bulb sits in for an earth. So I'm going to clean both of them up, and then the plan is to put that back in there, solder it to it, drill that hole out there so then it all can go straight through, and it might just work. Well, it will work. It worked on the other one. Right, so if you can see that really well, I'm bringing in a bit more. Right, I'm going to try and solder that there. Got a bit of flux on there. Let's try and get as much heat in it as I can. Let's see. So load it up. My soldering iron beeping for some reason. Don't move. Hot, 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 hot. There we go. Let's see if that works, or is it going to break? Might hold. Stick it on. One way to find out. Out of the way. Right, just stick that back in there. And to drill the hole a little bit bigger. Oh, it's going in. It's going in. There we go. Nice secured click. Right. I'll put the connector on the back. Slides on nicely. Right. Multimeter on the earth and on the earth, and there we go. Didn't have that before. Let's plug it in and see if it works now. And as if by magic, we've got working lights again. And there you go. It works, it works. I mean, would you believe it? They're actually the bulbs that I pulled out of the things. I didn't even replace them. Right. Better get on with these, stripping these now then. Rustiness, rustiness. Good enough. Okay, that's broken or not. Alright, anything else? Trim surround. Ooh, felt tight. Okay, anything else? On there. And there. Clips falling off. Okay, trim surround off. Should. Wow, my glass. Right, so there's our headlamp bowl. Headlamp bulb inside. And these little plastic things there, I will hold that on, and they have all broken and melted, and yeah, so I can maybe 3D print some, but I do know he can get some new ones, so I think I'll just order 6 new ones and then we'll come back to it. Another day, another job done. It's not perfect, but it's the bottom of the door. I'm not finished yet. We'll get a bit of paint on there and I've got to do the back end, but I'm going to move over slightly to a different job because ever since I got the car, all the window regulators are really stiff, so I'm going to try and take off all the door cards, or at least just one at a time, and see if I can lube everything up and see if we can get the windows working a little bit better. Just currently waiting for parts as well. Actually, I'm waiting for the end of the month for that special day, so then I can order some more parts and then I can crack on with the steering rack boots, of which I actually bought the wrong ones. Bought the early ones instead of the later ones, and I'll try and get a better view, but there's actually breather pipes on the rack on these ones, on the power steering ones, and you have to make sure you get the right ones for them. Yeah, so we're going to get these panels off, see if we can get these window regulators working a little bit easier. And it's off. This is what it looks like behind the door panel. Now, if I'm a betting man, I think this has been off before, because that does not look like original sealant. Now, the window winder handle was really tight to come off, and you can probably see why, because it's rusty. And I reckon that's probably the problem why it's so stiff to go up and down. Oh, I've actually got a speaker. No idea if it works because I got no radio. So yeah, I'm going to throw some lube around and let's see if we can get it working a little bit easier, and then do all the others. Yeah, it's quite easy to take off really, just a few screws and a few trim bits and bobs. Not too difficult at all. You can just see, maybe right down there, it's just like the little pawl and gear type thing that the window runner runs on. So I'm going to get some load of lube on that. Hopefully that will show me issue. Oh, hello. I think we found our water leak. Coming up from behind the dash. Somewhere. You guys might be able to see it better than me, but it's up there somewhere. I'm probably going to guess it's possibly a window seal. I don't know. Anyway, it started to rain, so I thought I'd have a look inside the car to see where it's coming from, and it's peeing in. That's another thing we got to try and fix. And yeah, put that back together. So obviously it's raining, and I've just had the aerial base off, but there's nothing there to see. It's actually quite dry. But when I lift this bit of trim, it's all the muck and water that runs out from underneath. So I'm always trying it very slightly. So what I'm going to do is going to get my air under there, just blow as much muck out as I can. But I think the only way we're going to do it is by getting some sealant in there. I mean, it's starting to delaminate anyway, and it's not in the best of conditions, the screen, so it'll do for now. We'll see if we can seal it up and just stop the water getting inside the car. Right, I've tried to film this 4 times now. I'm on my phone, I'm not got an actual proper camera. Done a passenger side front, I've done a passenger side rear, I'm about to do a driver's side rear. I'll try and take you along with me for it. being off before as well. Smells musty. That's a bit rotten. Yeah, still filming. Oh, yeah, that one. Lovely. More mould. Lovely. Right. Still doing? We're still doing. Good. Right. I'm going to lube up all this runner as well, this window mech. I'll see if we can get this one working as well. See if we can keep you here. Okay. Right, there we go. Got the 4-zone climate control working again. I've left all the panels off, well, apart from the driver's one, because they're all a bit stinky. So I have to try and dry them off before I can put them back on again. So we can get them cleaned up with all the other parts and bits that I'm waiting for. Still plenty of work to do, but we're getting there. So I think this is possibly where my water leak's coming from. Let's just try and clean that out and Put a bit of slaz in there, see what happens. Siliconetto! I'll do. See if it still works after that. So I just found something super cool, sort of. So this is the bonnet light on the Volvo, and it obviously wasn't working. Well, bad connections for a start, bad earth, probably bad feed. But when I noticed this, and it's a small mercury type switch, so if I turn it over, you can just see the mercury in there dribble down and then make the contacts. So that's when you know when your bonnet's up or down and you've accidentally left the light on or something like that, so it doesn't flatten your battery. Isn't that cool? And well, it might still work. I'm assuming it might still work. I'm going to have to clean everything up and try it. I hope it still works. But yeah, isn't that cool? So that was a little bit tricky. So I had to try and repair the switch. We'll call it fault switch. We call it. It was all corroded, so cleaned it up as best I can. Clean the lens up as best we can. Going to clean the other terminals up on the car, I'll put it back on, and I'll tell you in a minute if it works. We have light! Yay! Fix something! Does it turn off? Yeah! Does it turn on? Yeah! Right, back to steering gauges. Now I've got the correct ones for this car, because if you see just right, that little tube just there, that's a breather tube, and that goes somewhere into the rack, and the boot's got to go over that. On the early cars without power steering, it doesn't have that. So I'm going to clean this up and grease it again, get the boot on, do the same to the side. I'm going to get this job wrapped off. Another good tip is to clean as much of the thread up as you can on the end of the rack. Your tracking guy will thank you for it. Make sure that lock nut goes all the way to the end. You only need a little bit of grease on these just to stop it from seizing, but not a lot. See, in the boot itself, it's got a little hole just there for that breather hole thing to go into. It's tight, but it will go on. Right, done, both sides. I'm sorry I couldn't take you along with me more for that, but as you can see, it's dark out now. That's the problem with working after work in the evenings. So if I was going to give anybody a bit of a tip to do these ones with power steering, is that pipe, the breather pad that runs across, is remove or we'll slacken off the U-bolt which holds the rack on, and it got a bit of easier access to that pipe then to get it into both ends, or give it a clean up and blow it through and stuff like that. Get the boot on the rack first and then get the pipe into the boots. and yeah, do a nut and bolt check and everything, bolt everything up, tighten everything up. Make sure you clean up the threads, like I said, on your lock nuts all the way up, because whoever comes to do the tracking is going to need to adjust that. And yeah, I'll give it another bit clean up under here, do some more jobs, and get the wheels back on, and carry on with the rest of it. Here we go. Try again. Come on now, get over.
Let's turn you around. Turn you right round, baby, right round. Bear with. Semicircle corners.
Go, should be it. Right, let's get the pipe on and get it bled up. Right then, next job is change these things. Little plastic retainer adjustery things with some nice new ones. I'm going to clean up the clips first, clean up the glass, and then see if we can get it all put back together. And then we're going to try and do the other one, which I've not taken apart yet, but I've also got to cut that off and see if we can put a new one on it, because it's seized on there. the old reflector itself, that doesn't look too bad, to be honest. That'll go again. Right, so we can get all these clips cleaned up, painted, and get a new light put in. So I thought about it, try and get the adjusters out as well. Yeah, they're seasoned as well, so I've had to pull them out, and this is what they look like. Then a little captive thread. Here we go again.
Ouch. There she goes. There she goes.
Right, let's give this a good scrub. You're next. Next up on a priority list, new wiper blades. Don't they look really out of place? I mean, it's gonna rain soon, so I might as well put them on. Not that the car's going anywhere yet. Right, so with that, it has actually just started raining. So I'm back inside the garage with some nice clean glass and the rest of the lamp assembly. So we're going to get the adjusters back in, copper slipped up, get them tapped in there. We'll get this built up. I've got the clips painted, they're just drying off, and then we'll just see if we can get everything back together. Might take you along with me, or we'll just see. I might just tell you when they're done.
Oh, blimey, that's tight. Jesus. Jesus. In your hole. Perfect kind of job to do this, alright, Randy?
Some way, somehow. Like everything's got to line up in a certain little way. All kind of keyed. Screw that a little bit. So how do you go in? Try and get one of the elbows. So you kind of got to go in like what? Is there a way? Secret way of doing it? Like that, and then turn. Give us a clue. Come on, give me a clue. How do you go? How do you go in? Are they all the same? Should all be the same. Surely. Can't check the odd ones because there's nothing left of them. It goes in like that, and that should turn. I think. You pause a minute. Okay, so it turns out what you've got to do is get them in the reflector first. You've got to really squeeze them in and then turn them, and I've just used a pair of grips, just turn them round, line them up with the hole and then press them into there. So I'll do that and I'll come back to you in a second. Boom, there we go. Not a restoration, but just a good clean up to get it repurposed. Reflector in there is perfectly fine. Clips still usable. And then I got this one to do now to clean up, and that's what I'm trying to fix. So yeah, now it's got, you can just see in there the new clips in there, and the adjusters will turn now and actually work. So I'll get it on a beam setter at some point, or yeah, we'll set it up basically and get it on a beam setter, get them both in and working, and we're getting there little bit by bit. We're getting there. Yeah, it's definitely a project. This, I've been at this a few weeks now, getting all these things together. But another bit is yeah, these poor door cards are a bit rotten. I've got some plastic sheeting which I can put on the doors to stop water getting in, but these are a bit far gone now. I'll probably replace these at another point, another time. The actual front of them is fine, you know, they'll clean up all right, but that card, that wood support card, whatever it was behind it, it's gone now. I don't know if you noticed, but there's some markings on the speakers, sorry, speaker holes, saying remove it mounting of loudspeaker. Well, I don't know what's happened there, because I mean, it's a bit weird. The radio in it, I don't think, well, there was one with the car, but the speakers in there that are connected, but the crimp terminals on it, and is that some sort of aftermarket fit? I don't know. That's a future problem. But next up, let's get the other headlamp done and get them put back in the car. So I'm about to put the door cards, the door trims back together, and there's no plastic sheeting around the door, so that's why the door cards have got wet and gone mouldy and what have you. On the fronts, there's still the plastic sheeting there. Now the speakers are knackered, but it's more or less there. I can reseal it. Now I don't have any of that plastic sheeting, but what I do have is plenty of these bin bags. So I'm going to get some sealant around it. I've already done the other side, so I know it works. I'm going to cut this out, drape it over it, seal it up. It'll do for a time being. Get the door assemblies, trims back together, seal the front end up, and I can close the doors again. So yeah, there you go. A bin bag covered, sealed door panel. It'll work. Let's get the door trim back on again and finish it off. Well, I got his face back together. Well, then I went on a side quest, so I started doing that. When I thought, well, if I'm doing that, I might as well take the trim off here, and if I'm doing that, I need to take the wiper arms off. So if I'm doing that and I'm spraying that up and I'm spraying that up, I might as well spray them up as well. I thought, well, if I'm doing that, I need to repair the battery tie down clamp, so I welded a thing on the end of it as well and painted that. I want that many side quests, I've lost track of the fucking road. As you can see, I'm not the first person to have painted these. I don't think Volvo came with painted wheel weights. Yeah, so we're just doing a quick and dirty rim job. I'm just going to spray them all the same colour. Doesn't really matter how much, you know, what they look like, just a little bit neater, a bit cleaner. That's all. So I just decided to do the water weight test, see where my water weight's coming from. And I've had water all the way down here for all the clips, and I thought it'd be coming in here where it looks rotted, but it's not. I kept going up and up and up, and put water eventually right at the top, and then it came in the car. I'm thinking, well, where's it coming from? Because it came from under the dash. So I traced it up, pulled the trim away, pulled this trim away, and went up and up and up, and it carried on. It came out of this bit of trim. So wherever it's coming from is up round here somewhere. That's all have to get replaced. Screen's got to get replaced anyway. But for now, let's just see if we can seal it up. I think I'm at that point now where I'm gonna have to get the grinder out and get the welder out. I hate doing this bit, but needs must. I've just got the inner wheel arch liner out on the front end, and I thought I'll just have a look, see what's under here, because I need to fix this little bit. And somebody, it's really difficult to see, I'll try and get some light on, but has under-sealed it really well. All the way under, right in the front end. It looks really good under here, but you know, for a 40-odd-year-old car. So yeah, I'm gonna do those little bits. Try and bring you along with me for it, and then do the back end. Back end is going to be that wheel arch. I've done the little bit on the sill, that patch there, and then it's going to come round to the rear tubs, and this is pretty much going to be the same on both sides. So yeah, not looking forward to this bit.